everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Toronto, and as you can see, not at my desk, but again, in front of my Christmas tree. That's because it is day 13 in my 25 days of Christmas movie marathon. Yesterday, I reviewed the 1988 film Scrooge, starring Bill Murray. If you've not seen my review, make sure to click the eye up here, or up here, I'm not sure exactly where it is, but once you click it, a bunch of links will drop down. You'll be able to see my review for that, as well as my new release review for In the Heart of the Sea, the film by Ron Howard. That actually works really well too, because today I'm going to be talking about a Ron Howard movie. And Ron Howard is really prevalent because today I'm going to be reviewing his adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Dr. Seuss classic, which was made in 2000. The film, of course, stars Jim Carrey, who's going to play the Grinch, the green, not so much of a who, but a what, who lives on top of Mount Crumpet and hates all the who's who live down in Whoville, who absolutely worship Christmas. Obviously based on the classic children's novel that would be adapted into an animated movie that has also became a Christmas classic over many, many years. However, Ron Howard and Universal Studios decide to team up to make a live-action adaptation, which would go on to be one of the most intense production design, art design, makeup, costume productions that has ever been made. There is actually still is part of the Grinch set at Universal Studios in Los Angeles. Part of the reason why this movie was so successful is because of the makeup and the art direction. The makeup was done by the legendary Rick Baker, who recently retired this year. I talked about that video on ChasingCinema.com. Make sure to go check out that website. You can find that review. But he won an Academy Award for his work on the film, Best Art Direction and Set Decoration, and Best Costume Design as well. The film stars Jim Carrey, of course. It also stars Taylor Momsen, Jeffrey Tambor, Christine Baranski, Bill Irwin, Molly Shannon, and Clint Howard. The list is quite extensive, and everyone gives really solid performances. Now, I have to talk about this movie before I get, well, here, let me talk about the plot first. So this movie follows the story, again, of a, not so much of a who, but of a what, who lives on a mountain, Mount Crumpet, on Whoville. And Whoville is filled with who's who absolutely love Christmas. And there's a little girl by the name of Cindy Lou who is watching her parents kind of run around, maxing out credit cards, spending out a bunch of money to celebrate the holidays, and telling her that this is the way to do so. Her mother is in a house lighting competition, that she is determined to beat someone, and that is what they are describing as the meaning of Christmas. An opportunity arises for her to nominate someone for the holiday jubilation, the Cheermeister for a holiday jubilation, is the 1000th jubilation, so it's a very, very big year. And she decides that maybe we should nominate the Grinch, the guy that no one's talked to, haven't seen in years, who lives on top of Mount Crumpet. And she decides that if anyone needs Christmas, it's him. Maybe he's just misunderstood. So she takes it upon herself to go up to Mount Crumpet and confront the mean one, as the song would sing. This movie highly revolves around Jim Carrey's performance, and to be honest, I think it is one of his better performances, especially in his later career. I think this is a marvelous performance. He really brought this character off the page, and obviously with the help of Rick Baker, who did all the makeup for the film. I believe Jim Carrey would sit in a chair for 2.5 hours to put it on, and then an hour for removal. And I mean, they had a whole soundstage in Universal Studios dedicated to putting makeup and aesthetics on all the who's and all the other characters. Much as this movie is successful because of its cast, especially Jim Carrey, it is equally successful because of the look and the world that it literally creates. I mean, it is quite magnificent. I was recently at Universal Studios. You get to pass by some of the set from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but it was a little bit different feeling going in late November, early December. It had a real magical feel to it. This movie is funny, and I don't think, I mean, it's not the most clever comedy. It's mostly just watching Jim Carrey at his best. But there are a lot of great performances throughout the film. SNL veteran Molly Shannon, known for Superstar and a bunch of other comedies, is really good in this movie. Taylor Momsen, who I believe this is her first role. She does no longer act, but she is also really, has this really nice spirit and is really able to understand the character of Cindy Lou Who and her predicament of understanding what Christmas is all about. However, Bill Irwin, who plays Cindy Lou Who's father, who plays Lou Who, is absolutely marvelous, and I think, to be honest, very underrated. He really brings a lot of heart to this movie. His love and appreciation for his daughter and what she tries to teach him. He has a really, really great moment towards the end of the film after the Grinch has planned to steal Christmas from the Who's. We have Jeffrey Tambor, who is now, mostly known for his show Transparent on Amazon. He plays Mayor Augustus Mayhew, and he is absolutely hilarious in this movie as well. He's the perfect opponent for the Grinch. I mean, equally a great match with him, and seeing them kind of face off is wonderful in this movie. The pompous mayor who wants to be celebrated and is so against the Grinch coming back, and the Grinch who hates Christmas and hates everything that the Who stand for. But there is more to the story between them, and the movie does a really good job explaining it. Now, I guess the most shocking thing about watching this movie, because I do watch it every year, was going on Rotten Tomatoes, because, going through these movies, I'm curious to see how these movies were praised or not in their time. And I was really, really shocked to see that this movie is really on the 50% line in both critics and user scores. I thought this was a movie that everyone just kind of mutually enjoyed. Now, do I think this is a wonderful Christmas movie and is the best performance from Jim Carrey and the best Ron Howard picture? Absolutely not. But I don't think it's bad. I would never consider this movie bad. It's not amazing, but it's good. It's fun. It's wholesome. It's lighthearted. Jim Carrey obviously is great. His facial expressions are able to really, like I said earlier, pull the Grinch off the screen. The world that is created, Whoville in general, is so masterfully created. The costumes, every Who looks different and has a certain look to them, either it be a texture or the style that they have. The Grinch, who also has a lot of texture about him. I mean, it's so extraordinary that I just can't see this Oscar winner and nominee just not liked. And then, maybe the critics score I could, get past, but then 50% for user score, I didn't think people disliked this movie. I thought this was a movie that kind of everyone enjoyed, so I think it was a little bit shocking to find that out. Either way, I'm gonna have to disagree with everyone. I think that this is a solemn, wholesome Christmas movie. I think it's a very enjoyable movie, a great adaptation that, in case the cartoon doesn't continue to be watched by children and kids as they grow up, this movie will. But I don't know. Let me know how you feel about The Grinch. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas down here in the comment sections below. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say about it. I had a wonderful experience with this movie. I was in third or fourth grade. I don't remember particularly. And my mom took me out of school. Yeah, I know, Mom. Sorry, I'm telling the story. So me and her can go and see this movie. And, some of you might say, oh, it's the nostalgia, it's those memories that really make you enjoy this movie, and it's not the case at all. I really do enjoy this movie, and I enjoy watching it. That is a great memory to have, and, it's hilarious that you would take me out of school to see this movie, and, hence why, obviously, the movies became my life. It's no surprise that they've had such a huge role in my life, but it doesn't make me appreciate this movie any more than I would if that hadn't been the case. I mean, I think this is a really great movie that's funny, that's creative, and beautiful to look at, and it just creates a whole nother world, and it's masterfully narrated by Anthony Hopkins, and overall a very enjoyable movie. Let me know if you disagree or agree down here in the comment sections below. I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say. If you guys are the naysayers for The Grinch, let me know why. I'm really interested. Yeah, I think there's some silly things about it, and maybe it isn't the most intellectual picture, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I could laugh. I enjoy my time with these characters. Right above the comment section, there is a thumbs up button. Click it. Let me know you're enjoying what you're watching and what I'm doing here at Chasing Cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be celebrating the anniversary of Charlie Brown's Christmas, another Christmas classic. So make sure to tune into that. Again, my name is Jacob Toronto, and please continue Chasing Cinema.